On today's show, Stanford University is teaching robots to play games. A whole bunch of scientists and prominent technology people have signed a petition to ban killer robots.
Finally, you can play Half-Life 2 on your watch.
It's Tomorrow Daily. Greetings, citizens of the internet. Welcome to Tomorrow Daily, the best geek talk show in the known universe. I'm Ashley Esqueda. That's Khail Anonymous.
I haven't punched you in a long time.
You haven't, and you know, it's like nostalgia. I'm getting hit with maybe a little nostalgia wave.
Yeah.
It's been that long.
You know what? Before we get started, I know like we never address this, and it's just, look, you're watching a talk show. We're gonna tell you about some great articles.
That's true.
And we're also gonna wax about it a little bit to kind of get further into the conversation.
Very true.
As is what's great about this sort of community that we're in and this sort of internet culture that we're a part of is that we get to talk about it together. We get to come up with new ideas and really, you know, scratch our brains about all this stuff. So it is a talk show, so please enjoy it as
entertainment.
That. Yes.
As entertainment. Be entertained. You.
Okay.
You. Be entertained.
Was that a did I put it in a fun way?
I think you put it in a fun way. So let's hit the headlines.
No, it's just some comments.
There's some confusion about what this show is.
There's just some comments sometimes be like, man, just tell me the story in 30 seconds. It's like, well, you can go and just like read that instead, but we're gonna show it to you. We're gonna talk about it, give you some extra information, and then we're gonna maybe have the conversation with you guys. So.
And I should hope that you like us enough to want to hang out with us. Like,
I don't agree with that. I don't think anyone should like us. That's cool. Okay. Just pretend that the voices are coming out of a hot model or something like that.
Totally good. Okay, so let's talk about this petition because this has kind of been a big deal. It's been all over the internet this week.
Oh, I love this.
This is okay, guys. This is gonna be again more caveats today. This is gonna be a hot button topic, so please try to be respectful of each other. Although it's a very controversial thing. So okay, I don't think it's controversial, but there has been an open letter that has been published by a group called the Future of Life Institute that has been calling for a ban on autonomous weapons. Okay, so we're familiar with Terminator.
Wow!
Autonomous weapons, killing machine. Prominent scientific and technology minds of our time have signed this petition. We're talking about Elon Musk, Stephen Hawking, Steve Wozniak. These are people who are extremely well-versed in technology. They are, they're in it every day. They understand the ramifications of what autonomous weaponry would mean. Now, they define in this petition autonomous weapons as ones that, quote, select and engage targets without human intervention. So you send this robot off, and we've seen this with very controversial drone programs where you send these drones off to autonomously bomb a location without understanding or knowing what targets they're hitting. So you see a lot of inadvertent civilian casualties with drones, which is awful, really bad, not good. But there is also, so there's something to be said there for not allowing robots to choose who's being killed. There has to be some sort of human element there. There has to be some sort of human element there. We can't give that control to robotics and AI. That's the argument.
All right.
Okay. So for me, the fear here is that at some point we're going to get into a global AI arms race where it's going to be, every country sort of like the nuclear arms race, but with autonomous robotics, which seems like autonomous robot race seems like a really bad idea.
Right.
Because then if you're racing, a lot of times you don't stop to really think about what you're doing. And so you just go and you want to be first and forget all the consequences. And it's not properly thought out. The steps are not taken in a measured and safe fashion. And so that's why this petition has been signed. I know that this sort of strikes you particularly right now because you just got done catching up with Humans.
Humans, yeah.
And so, and this is a big kind of discussion that's being had on the internet with a lot of our media that we're watching and seeing. Like you said, Humans. Mr. Robot deals with robots. It's obviously a Roomba is going to come get you, but the argument is that we're already working on autonomy in so many different things in technology. Like, let's take a stand now, like nip it in the bud basically before it gets out of control and say no autonomous weapons. Like, we cannot have this. We got, including the drone programs, like we got to just stop all this.
But you didn't say the names of the people that were attached.
I did.
You did? Okay.
Stephen Hawking, Steve Wozniak, I mean, Elon Musk, these are all people. And I'm sure like at some point, if he's so inclined, Bill Gates has also expressed the concern about AI getting out of control. I mean, we've seen many, many different scientists and, technology CEOs and experts. I mean, all kinds of people, roboticists getting into, in the scientific community, getting into petitions like this and making quotes about things like this, saying like, we cannot let AI get out of control. So it's really interesting that we're kind of living in the time where we feel that it is so imminent, even though it might not be, that we have to have these really serious discussions of these, these kinds of petitions about it.
I think the people that are worried about it are worried about kind of the snowball effect of, it's only going to go from one little thing, and that's going to kind of grow. So if they make one mistake, and then let's take, for example, you said they're going to have an AI race. So we're just seeing those as numbers.
Right.
It's just a matter of if X country versus X country. Well, we have 50 AIs that we're like robots that we're going to throw at you, and we're like, we're going to throw 50 more. You know what? We got to up that. We'll do 20 more, and then we'll do 30 more.
We have more,
and then it's just going to be a mess.
Or now ours can do this thing, and now this one can detect, like specific types of people. Like, there's a lot of fear about hard AI. We don't have hard AI yet, but we do have a lot of soft AI. I mean, we have a lot of it. And so, I mean, the soft AI lives in our phones, like this stuff is, we want to have self-driving cars. I mean, this is all soft AI. So the idea of hard AI coming along and really kind of making those decisions for us is probably not a great idea. And so I don't disagree with the petition. I know that there are some things. I was just listening to, this conversation is going to go long, but I was just listening to Sawbones, which is a really great podcast. They were talking about burns, and Sydney McElroy, who's a doctor, she mentioned, she's like, war is a terrible thing, but for burns specifically, like we made a lot of advancements in World War I and World War II because people were getting burned by things we had never really seen before. And so while war is a thing that kind of galvanizes some forms of innovation, like I'd rather it take longer and just not go through that process because there's people's lives involved, and that's terrible. So that's what I say.
Is that our hashtag of the day?
Well, I figured we would turn it around. We'd turn the frown upside down because that's obviously a really serious topic, and we are.
It's not a sad thing. These guys are.
No, it's very serious. It's an interesting topic.
These people are these three. I mean, these big people like Wozniak and
Elon Musk.
Musk, and like it's just for conversation. I mean, they're obviously not.
It's an important
up in arms against anything that specifically that's happening, but it's just to kind of protect it. And these guys have their eye on that sort of world. So yeah, again, it's just to get people's brains out there. Hopefully this doesn't get too crazy. I don't think
it'll get too crazy until we hit hard AI, at which case I think we're going to have some very serious problems. But
won't happen.
Let's do hashtag TD new AI, and instead of thinking of a bad type of autonomous robot, let's come up with good kinds of autonomous robots.
I got one.
Okay.
A host robot that will do a much better job than me. Yeah.
I like that. That's really good.
We'll get him a Walking Dead shirt that fits.
Perfect.
Make him some blue pants. It'll all be good. It'll be really nice.
Look just like Mr. Robot.
And they won't mess up any information.
No, they'll be completely non-human.
They won't be affected by any of the comments, and they don't need a paycheck.
No.
So
don't have to pay. Well, that's the thing. Maybe someday we do gotta pay them.
Pay the robots?
Pay the robots.
No.
Maybe pay them in some sort of robot currency. I would make a robot that detects your chemical imbalances in your brain and decides what kind of compliment you need at that exact moment.
Oh no, that's bad.
Why?
Because we've become self-reliant on that.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think maybe if they're just randomly sprinkled throughout the world, you just like randomly run into this robot. I was like, you're like, whatever you needed at that moment, like maybe you're feeling down about something. It was just like, don't worry. Your hair looks great. You thought you got a bad haircut, and it's just randomly, it's like, your haircut looks great.
So in my scenario, I'm at a stoplight. I'm just bummed, and the car drives up next to me, and the robot goes, "Hey, you're pretty smart.
You're pretty great, Khail Anonymous," and then it just drives away into the sunset. I like it. So yeah, TD
cool.
new AI. That's the hashtag.
Cool.
So what is this about playing Half-Life on a smartwatch?
Okay.
So weird.
So basically, this guy has found a way to play Half-Life 2 on your Android watch. Something not many people have been asking for, but I do kind of want. So this guy basically,
I love that you're like, yes.
YouTuber Dave Bennett found a way to put the Half-Life 2 on your smartwatch. I mean,
Look at this.
that's really the story here. The downsides are the other part of the story,
what are the
which are that
downsides here?
it looks a little shoddy. You know, I mean, Half-Life 2 is an old game, but that doesn't mean an Android watch can run it in its full potential. As you can see, it runs pretty smoothly, but it ranges from 60 frames a second, which is the normal expectation, to 2 frames a second, maybe if there's too much action going on. 2 frames a second.
That's not good.
Not so great. He's also apparently, he actually does this for Android phones as well.
Okay,
so it's not just
like
a
his
watch.
hobby.
This was just him to show off. He's loaded up Team Fortress Classic and Portal on phones. Portal on phone sounds fun, but also very difficult. So as you can see, it's not like he's gonna beat the game on here, which I'd still like to see.
I mean, that would be kind of amazing if he beat the whole game.
It's just
do a whole playthrough on this. Can you Twitch stream? Right from your Android wear?
I would
That would
not
be
watch
awful.
that.
Look at the graphics. Oh, look at the. Oh, it's terrible.
It would just be a guy being
Oh, there it goes. It crashed.
Yeah, it crashes all the time. So there you go.
Oh, yep. It crashes a lot. So I'm assuming it's some kind of like emulator, right? It's like whatever the engine is, it emulates it.
Just modded it out.
That's pretty interesting.
So there you go. Half-Life 2, that's no confirmation of any Half-Life at all. It's just on a watch. If
Well,
anything,
so going from
uncancelable.
humans playing games on robots, if you call a smartwatch a robot, to robots playing games with humans, Stanford University had this video. They released it last week, and I've been saving it. And I finally was like, okay, today's the day. They have an artificial intelligence lab, which looks really fun, by the way. It looks like a fun place to study and create robots. They have been teaching robotic arms to do things like play ping pong, like you're seeing right now, play cup and ball, catch stuff, and have all these great sort of detection skills. This one right here is one that follows a quad or a helicopter and like basically catches them on a landing pad, which is pretty neat. And so they said in the video, it's pretty great. They're like, they're not really good at it. Like you watch the ping pong one and it's like, you know, they're just like, they miss a lot and they try really hard. Like, yeah, watch. So that's pretty good. But then like sometimes he's just like, blah, yeah. It's just like, never mind, I messed up. So, so it's pretty cool that they're doing this, and this lab seems like a really fun place to hang out. They're pretty good at catching stuff. They do the Japanese cup and ball game. And they said that all of this work, so watch, he's gonna do the cup and ball. Boop. I can't even do that, I can barely do that. They said it's a foundation for more complex tasks that robotic arms would be able to complete, which is pretty exciting. I mean, just generally for robotics, and then also, I would imagine, really exciting for the students who are like studying this and developing these robots, which is pretty cool.
Wow, that does look like a fun place to go.
It looks pretty fun. When you watch the video, everyone seems like they're having a great time.
Yeah.
And they're fascinated by what's happening. They're really engaged, but they're also having a really good time. Like no one seems like, oh, I'm miserable. Like nobody seems miserable at the Stanford University Artificial Intelligence Lab.
That's fun.
Which is pretty amazing.
Cool.
All right, guys, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come right back. It's Tuesday, so we're gonna talk about some new stuff that's gonna empty our wallets. So don't click away. It's Tomorrow Daily. Welcome back to the show. We've returned. It's a Tuesday, which means it's time to tell you about all the things we're gonna go broke for. Time for new releases. Genghis may have been drinking before the start of the show. Genghis needs to get it together. He needs to get it together. All right. First release, I have been hearing great things about. Mission Impossible's out this week. Rogue Nation. Rogue Nation. This is the movie where Tom Cruise, well, he's known for doing a lot of his own stunts, right?
Yeah.
Like he's really into this. Like, but there was
awesome.
a featurette where they were like, hey, he's actually really honest to God attached to a plane, and we took off and landed like 8 times.
Yeah.
With him attached to this plane, which is crazy. And like Simon Pegg's in it, and Jeremy Renner. Yeah, here he is. He's actually attached to that plane. I mean, he's tethered, and they just, CG'd out the cabling, but those are really his legs flailing in the back as the plane actually, in real life, takes off from the ground.
Apparently, they did
intense.
it 7 times.
No,
they
thank
did
you.
it 7 times.
No,
to get it right.
thank you. that is crazy.
That's pretty awesome, though.
And
Because
he also
climbed the building in Dubai.
Yeah, he did. I think Burj Khalifa, right? The tallest
but
building.
geez, that was scary.
I would not like any of that. He also apparently in this movie was like underwater. He shot a scene underwater continuously for 6 minutes, that's like Houdini levels of breath holding.
Yeah.
That's intense. So, if anything, go see that movie just because of Tom Cruise's commitment to
It's the perfect summer movie.
the craft of acting.
It's a great summer movie.
He went straight method on that one. Was like,
can't
I
wait to
am a
see it.
spy. And then also coming out today, I don't know, some of you may not be familiar with this series, but King's Quest: The Night to Remember. They're rebooting King's Quest. And apparently, again, also getting really good reviews. This is an episodic game where it kind of reminds me of Telltale, where they're going to do like different episodes of King Graham's history and how he came to be a king. And it's going to go over 5 episodes. The first one drops today. You can go check it out. It's out for, I think, both Xboxes, both PlayStations, so PS3, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and then also PC. So you can get it on just about any platform. No Wii U. Sorry, guys. No iOS, no Android. Not yet. Maybe they'll release it on iOS and
No
Android.
Game Boy Advance. Sorry about that.
Well, the developer's The Odd Gentleman, and they're here in LA, and a lot of times they do stuff for iOS and Android, so we might see it come to mobile. Maybe. If Sierra's interested in, if there's enough interest, they, from the fans, too.
It's been getting crazy reviews. I didn't play the original.
I did. I loved it. I specifically remember a lot of playing King's Quest 2, and it was really, really hard because it was like Space Quest. It was like the controls are, the arrow keys, and you have to there's no tips, there's no hints, there's nothing. It's just you're walking around a giant map, and sometimes you'll walk into a screen, and all of a sudden there'll be a monster there, and you just get eaten. Like if you don't have the right item, you're just dead. Like that's it. It's over, and you got to go back to your last load point, which is usually like 10 minutes prior, which is terrible.
Yeah, those old games had a real big bite on them.
Yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, new King's Quest, which is pretty cool. And then lastly, something a little bit different than movies and games, but a very important release. Windows 10 comes out this week.
Woo! Be careful.
Yeah.
Maybe wait to download it. We'll see.
Well, it's been.
There's some guy that was like, I'm working on a really big project right now. I was like, don't download it yet.
Oh, no.
You don't want to do anything until you're 100% sure.
Two great things about Windows 10, though, is that it's been in beta for a long time. And which means that a lot of the software manufacturers, developers have been able to make their stuff compatible right away.
Why? What is this commercial?
Oh, they're globalizing sort of the idea of Windows and this.
Yeah, but do you get a free baby?
No, they that would be amazing. You get a free baby.
I want an
Windows 10.
Asian baby.
They talk about how all of these kids will never know the concept of these older computer concepts. It's actually a pretty good commercial.
You mean not having the Windows Start button?
Well, now it comes
Windows
back.
8? I know.
It's
That's what I'm
back.
saying. Lucky kids.
They've never known a life with a start button, and now they're going to learn it. So yeah, that's Windows 10 comes out, and it's free. If you have, I think it's Windows 7 Service Pack 1 and newer, you get a free upgrade.
I got that.
I had to, today I set up the thing to download tomorrow, so why not? I'll try it out. I don't know if my computer will handle it because it's old. I have an old, decrepit Methuselah computer that needs to be upgraded desperately, but.
I don't know if I'm gonna. I have so many games that I have modded out, and if I hit that button.
Well, I'd imagine the Steam and the Battle.net, they're all ready to go for that upgrade.
Girl.
Hey, girl.
You don't know about Fallout mods and how sensitive those little things
Fair
are,
enough,
right?
fair
It's
enough.
like
No,
playing
you're right.
Kerplunk,
You're right.
and I'm not going to play that game.
Fair enough.
Not till I beat it again.
All right, fair enough. Okay, well let's move on from the delightfulness of new releases to the delightfulness of your comments. It's time for user feedback.
What's the deal? I never really registered that user feedback has a thumbs down on it.
Yeah.
In there. It's up or down.
Up or down. Well, some people are like, I don't want to move to Mars, or I don't want to go to 452B.
What about that guy yesterday that said the show's okay? What did he say? It's pretty good.
He wrote back to us. He said thanks. You guys are pretty good on Twitter. I don't know if you saw that. Max wrote over to us on Twitter and was like, you guys are pretty good. Thanks for saying. And I wrote back and I'm like, we think you're pretty good too.
I don't think he's pretty good.
He's
pretty
okay.
Great.
He's pretty okay. We asked you guys to use the hashtag TDClaw. Tell us what you'd use that little tiny claw from Vanderbilt with the little wrist on it. What petty thing would you use it for? You guys really came through on this, so thank you for being as petty as us. Kirk wrote in and said, I'd probably clean my laptop fan. Hopefully then my laptop will stop cooking my leg. That's
like
dangerous.
there's all kinds of good visuals in that
That's
one.
toasted leg syndrome. You got to be careful about that. Dustin wrote in and said, I would use it to finally learn how they get the caramel in the caramel bar.
Ooh,
Like that,
yeah,
caramel.
nice.
I think you need to watch that on how did this get made, or like how it's made.
Oh yeah.
That little show where they do like, here's how they make chocolate.
I like that. I like him in a room with that little claw and a bunch of candy bars.
Yeah, I like that too. I would use it to pinch the bottoms and figure out what the flavors were on an unmarked box of assorted chocolates.
Yeah.
That's a great use of that little claw.
too.
Dragon Lover wrote in and said, I would use the claw to pick up insects and put them outside. That way no one would have to kill them. It's a very delicate, kind thing to say.
Dragon Lover. Dragon Lover said that.
Also, insect lover. Ricky wrote in and said, take all the green M&Ms out of the bottom of the M&M jar. We know the freshest M&Ms are at the bottom of the jar.
Did you say take all the green?
Apparently the green ones are the freshest. It's because they remind you of grass, trees, living organisms.
I'm going to have to experiment on this.
All right, fair enough.
Thank you.
And then lastly, Matthew wrote in and said, I would like to see a micro claw that would be the arch nemesis to Micro Inspector Gadget. And I have to add on to this because Matthew wrote that tweet, and then Spike Tiger wrote, I'll get you next time, Miniature Gadget, which made me laugh. I was hoping that somebody would write about Dr. Claw, because that was the lower third I picked for yesterday. I was like, Dr. Claw.
Oh, okay.
It was
I
subtle.
Like that. That's
so
cool. Dr. Claw.
Way to pick up on my cues there, Matthew. High fives to you. But yeah, so that was your TD Claw feedback. Somebody else said like I would use it to take things out of my wife's meal, or steal food from her without getting my hand slapped.
Oh, okay.
And then Pin wrote in and said like his kid is picky eating wise. He doesn't like a lot of stuff in their food, so he can pick out all the stuff they don't like.
Yeah, I
good-
like that.
good stuff.
I like everybody.
Everybody had good answers.
They're just trying to take things out of their food. I get it.
Yeah,
So
take
it's
all
good
the stuff
when
out of your food. All right, guys, it's time for our last piece of user feedback. It's our photographer of the day. This is from our delightful viewer, William. He took this with his Asus Pad Phone X. Asus?
How do you pronounce it? You work at CNET. How do you pronounce it?
I have always heard it pronounced, internationally, I've heard Asus. And then here, it's a lot of people say Asus.
And what does the CEO said? Sorry, but what?
That's a great question.
Okay.
I haven't been in person to a
So here's your ASAS Patafan
Patafan.
X from William, and it's this beautiful, what, I'm going to guess like a rice field or something?
Says, shot in Arlington, Tennessee one
not a
evening
rice
while
field.
heading to pick up dinner. There's not much hype about my phone, but I love it, and in my opinion, the camera's impeccable. Love the show. And also, did Khail say, I'll be back when he left for San Diego Comic-Con? Mm-hmm. I think maybe he did.
Nice job, William.
I think maybe Khail has not quite turned in his resignation as a Terminator fan
That was my
just
mistake.
yet.
No, I can't. Crap.
Can't ever say any of those awesome phrases ever again if you're going to turn in your resignation as a Terminator fan.
I gotta stop.
All right.
No more robots for me.
No more robots. All right, guys. If you want to send in your photography, you can email it over to tomorrow@cnet.com. Tell us what phone you shot it with. Tell us a little story about it, and give us permission to use it on the show. It'd be delightful. If you want to
don't forget to give us permission to
give
use
us
it on the
permission,
show.
tell us.
Send it in, but don't give us permission.
Yeah, I know. There might be an autoresponder set up at some point to ask you to say I agree to some terms or whatever. But anyway, send us your photos. Send us your story ideas. And of course, you can always find us on social media. We're Tomorrow Daily on a few of the bigger social media networks. But really, if you want to talk to us, hit us up on Twitter, the two of us individually. Mm-hmm. I'm at Ashley Esqueda.
And I'm at Khail Anonymous.
And that's it for the show today, guys. We'll be back tomorrow with a brand new docket of science, fact, science fiction blowing up in your face. But until then, be good humans. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.